And yeah, I'm already at max rupees, and it looks like there is nothing to spend them on. And so now this is going to, of course, respawn. Would help if I hit the right key. Wait, can I? Now, I feel this needs regular bombs to... I was wondering if maybe I could... I was expecting to jump down and get back up, but yeah, that works too. So it looks like the silver rupees are kind of in red coin locations, but not entirely, which, I mean, that makes sense because there's probably going to be only 5 as opposed to the 8. Yeah. Okay, let's see if we can figure out what to do with this guy now. Okay. Okay, some of his things are blue. So I'm not going to pretend to be a like super advanced Zelda player, and so clearly this is the part where I start complaining. I'm not sure if that guy's supposed to be beaten or not, but like it feels like the Z targeting range is really small, and like in order to target him, oh, the gate stays open. And then also he like stun locks you, where every time he hits you, it knocks you down and undoes your Z targeting, and it would probably be better with a proper setup, but I'm doing this with just a keyboard, so beep, beep, beep. Okay, so if we can put up with the ringing. There was that fairy up at the top of this. Is that 4 silver rupees I found? Yeah, that sounds like the 4th one. Hearts, hearts. Very, very. I guess I could raise my shield before going after him. Would make more sense. I mean, if that guy's a Chain Chomp equivalent, then you're not necessarily supposed to kill him, just go past him until maybe a later objective. I don't know if this is like a... Is this kind of a Zelda style thing where it's like a dungeon where, you know, I go in once and then at the end of it, you know, is this a you do each level and then at the end of it you're done with everything in there? Or is it kind of Mario style where there's multiple? Okay. Okay, the shield protects you from damage, but not knockback. There has to be... So, there has to be something behind those blue Deku Nuts that he's doing. This is... Okay, the blue ones he can... And then this would be the bombs, maybe. And I should not squander these bombs because I don't know if I can get more, because... Yeah, it kind of feels like there's not... Like, you know, in a usual Zelda game, there'd be some kind of replenishing thing, but... I should have pulled that out a lot closer. I mean, for all my complaints, though, this is like... I'm making all of these complaints and stuff. I am having fun here, but, you know, it still kind of comes across as a work in progress. And no, that wasn't the right way to phrase it. There are some things that feel like they could have been implemented better. And also just I need something to talk about while doing this. So yeah, I'll just tank that. I don't even need rupees. I am maxed out. Yeah, because I feel like with the boss, it was like, okay, so I tried using my shield and it didn't work. And so the obvious, or not the obvious, the obviously intended in hindsight solution was that I was supposed to wait for him to use one of those blue nuts, which I could reflect. But like it seemed he was doing that like once every 2 or 3 times, and it wasn't immediately obvious from the beginning that he was going to do a different kind of nut. Okay, what do you want? You're the new guy, right? Good job getting all the way up here. The leader of the Mad Scrubs is right. Okay. I wanted to roll, not talk to you, but we're above the last cave, right? Yeah. A heart. Singular. So does the fight reset? Watch as I just get knocked all the way down. That knockback's kind of brutal. And another boulder, of course. Here's the last silver rupee. Okay, yeah, it definitely feels like there is no way to wake him up without literally getting hit by him. And now I'm gonna get blindsided again. Okay, we're going back for another heal. Yeah, and that's like, it's kind of like the same thing I mentioned with the other scrub guy, is basically if you get hit once, you're not really in a position where you can reposition yourself. Like, and once again, I'm doing this with the keyboard, so maybe it's a different experience with a proper gamepad. But like, the small engagement ranges, the fact that the boss goes down back into the ground whenever you're more than a certain distance away. The fact that he fires fast enough that you just... I wanted to drop that. Oh, yeah, you have to... My mind was like, oh, a business scrub, and I completely forgot that you do, in fact, have to fight them first. That's obviously like a one-time thing, right? Okay, yeah, he's gone completely. Were there any other boulders out here? I think that was it, right? Let's just check, though. It feels kind of weird because it looks like it's... If this is the only level, it looks like there's only going to be one piece of heart available. Which is, I mean, it's appropriate for this stage of a Zelda game. Like, you can't get... I don't think it's possible to get a full heart container before beating the Deku Tree. And once again, I am collecting all of these rupees that I don't need. Yeah, so pieces of heart. It feels kind of weird for there to be one piece of heart available this early in the game. Okay, let's see if I can actually beat the boss this time instead of just like being a loser. So I just noticed there was like a... There was like a visible kind of edge to that like zoom in, zoom out effect. Like at the very corners, you could see a circle. I have to collect these all again, and I am missing my jumps. I wonder if I can get to that. Because I was thinking I was going to get that chest there after beating the big guy. But, I mean, at the time I was like, well, how's that going to happen? Is it like going to sink into the ground? But so now that didn't get it to me, so now that's still something else to be gotten. I wonder if... So given the health troubles I've had, I don't want to try this. But like, I wonder if you can like boost yourself up with bombs. I don't know. This guy didn't respawn, right? He did not. Okay. Yeah, so it looks like some things don't change, I guess the other kind of thing is like, and so this is like, you know, obviously there's a limited amount of stuff to work with, but and conceptually they have different move sets, but like the enemies we've been facing so far are basically just Deku Scrub, Big Deku Scrub, or Mad Scrub, Big Mad Scrub, Bigger Mad Scrub. I want to wait for that. So you apparently do slide down this. That was kind of slick, but annoying. So are you not supposed to walk up here? Because I don't know. I don't even know. Wait for the boulders without, and instead of charging like an idiot like I usually do. That's blue, right? Not silver. Yeah, blue. I feel there's a silver rupee that I didn't get this time. I am a smart person who makes smart decisions. We will leave that fairy for when I inevitably need it. I mean, I get it's good that you can't just run whenever, because like that's like if you could run to the sides of the boulders, then it's like what's even the point? But at the same time, it feels like it's just basically just wait for the boulder, then go, and that's not really not much of a puzzle, I guess. Although I guess Zelda itself doesn't really do much aside from that. So let's see if I can do this time. Okay, he has a range. And can knock me completely off the mountain. Really, I need to just bind my Z key to a more convenient location. It's kind of an awkward thing with what I'm doing right now. So we'll use the bridge this time. Okay, yeah, so like... That's not a jump I can make, right? Yeah, so like I can't tell if that's... Is that something I'm supposed to be able to do in the demo? Or is it something that like they put that there, that silver rupee there, knowing that it's not going to... There's a heart in the crate, right? I feel like up here would be like that dude makes a big deal about, oh, he put a heart for you in there. I feel that would be a better place to put the fairy rather than down at the bottom, because then it would be like more of a... I mean, I guess it can be said that this boss is being more of a challenge than... I am going to need to wait for this. And part of it's like, yeah, obviously they couldn't really do much about the location because, you know, that's where the final boss, where the King Babam is, and that's, you know, it is an obvious good location to put him, but basically it's not even so much the boss, but the fact that he knocks you halfway down the mountain every time, which, to be fair, King Babam did that too. And I guess the answer is I shouldn't be standing so close to the edge to begin with. Okay, so... So I guess my other complaint, wow, that's thunder there, as I get knocked off the mountain again. With this boss and the previous one, it's like... So he starts out shooting regular Deku Nuts, and the behavior changes. Like, okay, yeah, there's some stuff that you're supposed to dodge and some stuff that you're supposed to reflect. But the stuff you're supposed to dodge looks like the stuff that usually you would reflect. And I mean, like, obviously I've gotten... from the beginning, I was like... The first time that hit me, I was like, okay, yeah, you're not supposed to do that. I'm pretty sure I got... I would have reflected that if it were reflectable. But it's basically using a video game cube, so to speak. There are different theories behind, like, boss battles, and mini boss battles, but one that I kind of subscribe to is the idea of the final boss as basically a final exam for what you've been doing. And Zelda really adheres to this. Like, if you think about it, the dungeon gives you an item, and you do a bunch of puzzles using that item. And then at the end, you have the final boss, who is basically a puzzle of that same type, except he attacks back. But part of that is reliant on the idea of bosses using the same language. So this boss is a scaled up version of the Mad Scrub. So when he starts shooting nuts at you, it should behave the way the stuff a Mad Scrub shoots at you. Yeah, like I barely had room to get. These also have a massive hitbox, it feels like. And I'm getting knocked off again. And like conceptually, the boss works because, you know, it's reflecting things with the added challenge of dodging it. My complaints about the rate of fire being too high and you basically have to be so close to have barely any room to react, but visually it's like designed to confuse you or not designed to confuse you, but it's visually confusing because it's like, okay, this boss, which is a scaled up version of the smaller enemies, uses an attack that looks like the attack used by the smaller enemies, but then you try reacting to the attack in the same way and it doesn't behave the same way as the small enemies. So you think, okay, I guess I'm not supposed to do that, except you are. It's just you're supposed to do that on the attack that doesn't look like, you know, I think actually with this being bomb themed, maybe a better idea would be to have this guy shoot bombs at you, and those would be the attack that you can't dodge or can't reflect because they just explode in your face. That would probably be harder to code, but like, and maybe that's even what they're going with some of these are like the stuff I can reflect is blue, but yep. And now he can get me there.